All right, Mr. Taliaferro TV, how's everybody doing out there? Let's kick the day off with a little bit of J.Prince and Pusha T. I always tread lightly when I talk about J.Prince, and I always tread respectfully. Just something about this man scares the hell out of me, and I'm just be honest with y'all. J.Prince, for those who don't know who he is as respected a guy we have in rap. J.Prince out of Rap-A-Lot Records back in the day was in the music game heavy, giving a lot of guys opportunities. He also was heavily behind Floyd Mayweather and a lot of his early success and funding a lot of that as well. So J.Prince has been around the block a couple times. He's one of the most respected niggas in music. I'm gonna be honest with you, he's just respected. J.Prince is the father of Jazz Prince, all right? So Jazz Prince is one of the guys who gets most of the credit for helping discover Drake, all right? Let's just call it what it is. Before there was a Wayne and Birdman, there was a Jazz Prince in the life of Drake. He, I believe, was the guy who introduced Drake to Wayne, and from there it's history. Wayne, Young Money, all that, Cash Money, and Drake becomes the biggest rapper in the world. You get where we're at with it, right? Like, Drake owes a lot of his success to the Prince family because they believed in him early. I'm sure Jazz Prince was funded a lot by his father, and yes, J.Prince has financial interest in the career and life of Drake. As we all remember, when Drake and Pusha T were in the midst of their disses, we got the Duppy freestyle, the story of Adidon. Drake had a diss record in the chamber where apparently he was going to diss Pusha T a little bit, but he had some dirt on Kanye West. J.Prince, like I've reported on my platform for months now, J.Prince told Drake straight up and down, nah, we ain't rolling with that, bro. Don't drop that record, all right? From there, J.Prince released a book, okay? This is where it gets interesting. J.Prince released a book, and in the midst of him releasing his book, he did press for it. Now, in the midst of Drake and Pusha T's beef, I don't think J.Prince was using this as the rollout, but let's call it what it is. Because he was at the center of this Drake and Pusha T beef for stopping Drake from, he stepped in and was the OG for Drake and stopping him from responding to Pusha T and Ye. Pretty much all his interviews were starting out asking him about this beef and what part did he play. So that was the gist of how his interviews went outside of talking about his book, The Art of Respect. Now, Pusha T recently did an interview with the Joe Budden podcast, and he spoke on just this whole narrative that J.Prince was the guy that ended the feud and how J.Prince is such a respected and guy that a lot of people are afraid of in the business. I'm guessing Pusha T ain't really that afraid of J.Prince and the legend that is behind his name. Now, in this interview with Joe Budden, Pusha T said pretty much, look, bruh, there's a narrative. I let them run with all these narratives, even the J.Prince thing, bruh. I don't even know J.Prince. He did a whole book tour on the back of claiming he squashed the beef. All these false narratives are covering up the fact we had a battle, and Drake, you came up on the short end of it. Now, I think it's worth noting that Pusha T, throughout this interview with Joe, he did pretty much speak on how this is just rap beef and he's not afraid or moving differently because of anyone, including J.Prince. He spoke on the fact that J.Prince was pretty much, I'm summarizing here, making his role in this beef more than what it was, and he was like he never had a convo with J.Prince personally, but I believe J.Prince spoke with Pusha's manager, and he was like, from what we were told, J.Prince was a nice guy. He in interviews making it seem like he was more than what he really was when he made the phone call. That's what I got from Push in his interview with Joe Budden. Now, J.Prince has did 2 more interviews since Pusha T released his interview with Joe the other day. He did one with Bootleg Kev and company on the West Coast, but last night he sat down with TMZ and he made his statements to Pusha T very clear. He wanted to send a message to him. Remember, J.Prince comes from that era of respect. That's why he named a book after it. He said, I don't consider what Drake and Pusha T got as beef anymore. He said, Pusha, he's like an ant to us. He's like an ant that crawls around. We could smash him at any time if that's something we wanted to do, but that's not the case here. That is the scariest shit I've ever heard in my life, when somebody comparing somebody to a freaking ant. He pretty much nicely said they could do some things to Pusha T if they wanted to. All right, I'm getting out of this video. That's it. I gave y'all what y'all needed, and I think I just want to end it there. Thank y'all for the time, love, and support. I don't take it for granted. Yeah. J.Prince sends a message to Pusha T that you're an ant and we could get rid of you at any time. We could squash you. Yeah, I'm out. I came from nothing, but I want everything God has for me. I interview celebrities. I talk sports. I still represent the culture.
I got the kids. They are now tuned in.
Yeah, we locked in right now, Mr.
TALIAFERRO. Mr. TALIAFERRO.
Mr. TALIAFERRO.
Mr. TALIAFERRO.
Shout out to Mr. TALIAFERRO.
You're watching Mr. TALIAFERRO TV.
Mr. TALIAFERRO TV. Here with the triple B's, you can't do nothing but win.